A bombshell report by Colombian main newspaper, El Tiempo, revealed that the Russian regime of Vladimir Putin has been trying to undermine Colombian democracy by financing the violent protests that started in 2019 with a radical faction that still operates in Colombian capital Bogota. As reported by El Tiempo, the newspaper obtained this information after getting access to a file which was created by different intelligence agencies, not only of Colombia and the UK, but also with the DEA and the CIA. Apparently, it all started after it was revealed that a high-ranking official of the Colombian armed forces had regular meetings with Russian citizens, and suddenly his finances were getting better, actually. So this situation created a lot of suspicions. Eventually, following that detail, the armed forces started to investigate the official, and it was later revealed that he was basically providing the Kremlin a lot of classified information regarding Colombia's national security. So the people who the Colombian official met were a Russian woman and a Russian man named by the alias of Serbak. He was named by the alias of Serbak. We're talking about a pretty interesting story because, I mean, this is definitely a Cold War type of story, for sure. And getting to this point, Serbak, according to El Tiempo, was not only interested in this information that the high-ranking official from the Colombian armed forces was providing, but also in studying and financing the country's violent protests, specifically the violent protests that took place last year, the so-called El Paro. This is a massive bombshell. A massive bombshell that essentially confirms what the government of Colombian President Iván Duque was claiming, that there was a lot of international financing in this protest, that there were international actors, international figures behind this protest. However, many members of the Colombian government were claiming that the party behind this, the international party behind this protest, was essentially the Maduro regime in Venezuela. This hasn't been fully proved, but what has been proved by this investigation from El Tiempo is that one of the key figures behind this protest was actually the Kremlin, the Russian regime. And of course, this is not a surprise whatsoever, because we have seen how the Russian regime has been trying to undermine democracy in a lot of countries in the Western Hemisphere every time these countries are near a presidential election. And this year is Colombia's presidential election, and this massive protest took place last year. And despite the fact that the Russian regime was financing the protests that started in 2019, they provided more money and they were more focused on last year's protest. So, of course, you have to do math. You have to do the math. It is actually quite easy, because this is the same operation that Russia has made in many other countries, including the United States. So, another pretty concerning detail of these reports is that authorities told newspaper El Tiempo that Serbak, this Russian operator, this Russian agent, could expand his operations to many other countries, including Mexico, Peru, the Dominican Republic, Nigeria, and Serbia. He is fully focused on these countries, which only means that the Kremlin is focused on these countries. So, of course, we're going to see what is going to happen, but we're talking about a pretty concerning situation, that could definitely have some negative consequences for Colombia, especially because we need to remember that on these upcoming elections, the favorite to win it is a radical populist, a radical left wing, a former guerrilla member who is Gustavo Petro. And the fact that Gustavo Petro decided to name himself as the leader of last year's protest, and the fact that the Kremlin financed these protests, only means one thing and one thing only: that Gustavo Petro is essentially Kremlin's candidate. Reporting from Medellin, Colombia, Luis Orozco, Newsweek.